Hey folks, it's Anders, Communications Director for Florida Watch. Back because since the last time we spoke, there's been some pretty big news. On Sunday afternoon, President Joe Biden announced that he would no longer seek the Democratic nomination for president. Almost immediately, he endorsed Vice President Kamala Harris to be his successor at the top of the Democratic ticket. And by Monday evening, Vice President Harris had secured the support of enough delegates to become the Democratic nominee when they vote at the Democratic National Convention next month. So what does all this mean? Let's start by saying that when they ran for office 4 years ago, President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were fighting to save our democracy, to guide our nation through the recovery from the pandemic, and to make investments in our future that will put our country on a path to prosperity for generations to come. Under President Biden and Vice President Harris's leadership, while there's still a lot of work to be done, our economy is booming, wages are going up, healthcare costs are going down for workers and seniors. We've made historic investments in our infrastructure and in combating the climate crisis, and we are charting a path forward that protects the freedoms of all Americans. But the fight to save our democracy continues against an extreme and emboldened far right that is led by Donald Trump as he seeks to return to power with an extreme plan to subvert democracy and new powers that put the future of our nation at risk. Project 2025, which will be implemented if Donald Trump is elected, is an authoritarian takeover of our government created by the Heritage Foundation to concentrate power in the Oval Office that will gut the checks and balances we rely on to protect our freedoms. Simply put, it must be stopped. President Biden's decision to no longer seek the nomination is a reflection of the enormity of the moment we face and shows the inherent strength of his character as he passes the torch in this fight to Vice President Kamala Harris. From day one of this administration, Vice President Harris has been a strong voice fighting to protect the rights and freedoms of all Americans. With Vice President Harris at the top of the ticket, Democrats have a proven, effective leader who brings new energy and passion to our fight to save democracy and to continue to build on the historic progress we've made over the last 4 years. The fight for the soul of our nation continues, and with Vice President Harris leading the charge, Democrats are well positioned to make the case to the American people of the danger posed by Donald Trump and his extreme allies, while touting the accomplishments achieved under the Biden-Harris administration that put us on that path to a brighter future for all of us. Now, it's time to unite with one goal of lifting up our voices as we are ready to say enough is enough and head to the polls to save our democracy and protect our freedoms this November. As President Biden said on Sunday, it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this. We hope you'll join us and be part of this movement to protect our democracy and to protect our freedoms and to protect our ability to live our own version of the American dream at floridawatch.org.